Hey guys, it's me. I'm back. Been a while since I put out a video, but I had a couple of guys asking me what the impeller kit is on this 47-inch John Deere snowblower attachment up on the X739 unit. Got the cab on there. If you go look at my other videos, you can see this thing in action. One of them I think is over 3 hours, so might be a record there for YouTube on the longest snow blowing video. If you're ever bored sometime and you want to take a look at that one, look it up. So the impeller kit that I was talking about in some previous videos is, you have your augers here, the steel augers. On this unit, the fan blade, or the impeller, it's sometimes called, is actually plastic. This whole unit right here is plastic. But I think there's an option for metal, and a lot of them use a metal fan. This one's a 3-blade. You can, find them in different diameters, different configurations, 4-blade, so forth. But this 47-inch comes with a plastic impeller. So the real issue is the gap between the blades of the plastic impeller as it comes from the factory and this housing here, the circular housing in the blower case is pretty large from the factory. And I think they do that for a reason. Maybe people that are snow blowing on gravel driveways and stuff like that, they don't want the gravel getting stuck between the fan blade and the auger housing and jamming the unit up and breaking shear bolts, which on this unit, that's a shear bolt right there. And on the auger unit, there's a shear bolt here on each side. And of course, this is your gear housing. You don't want to break that, so they put those shear pins in on either side. So the impeller kit, what that does, let's get a better look at it here. So it's just simply, in this case, 3 pieces of rubber that I just bolted onto the each fan blade. It's a little tricky on this plastic fan blade because there's a bunch of angles, and it's shaped kind of weird. I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, like here, there's a kind of a weird surface here, a lip, a little pocket in here, in other words, that you have to work around. But basically, you're sealing up the gap between the impeller blade, or the fan blade, and the housing. You can see the housing is kind of the paint scratched off there. That's from the rubber wearing in. So that's basically all you do. I just cut those myself. Matched it to the width of the fan blade and gave it a little extra material coming out back there. And just used some flat washers and some regular hardware, not stainless, but regular grade 5 bolts, magnetic. They seem to, I think, be a little tougher than stainless steel. And some large flat washers there. And on the back side, probably blocking off the microphone too. Sorry about that. But on the back side, I just have another flat washer and some nylock nuts on there so they don't back off. And that's really all there is to it. Ouch. So basically, when you seal those off, those gaps in there, it throws that slushy snow a little bit better, and it throws the light regular type of snow much farther, and it doesn't seem to clog up as much when you're going through the wet stuff, like down by the end of the driveway where the plows come through, and they're salting the roads here in Wisconsin, so that all turns into a slushy mess down there, 2, 3, 4, 5 feet high, depending on the snowfall. And this impeller kit really helps out. I would say it's a night and day difference. So not only do I have it on this blower, but I have another another 2-stage Aaron's blower over here. Take a looky. So this is what is that? The 1332 Pro 13 horse 32-inch cut, and that also has some little impeller kit action going on. I don't know if you can see that too well, but the point is I put it on. Any 2-stage snowblower that I've ever had, I've put that on. There's kits you can buy off eBay and probably Amazon. You just measure your impeller blade width. So, the width of the blade might be 2 or 3 inches. And these kits come in, let's say you got a 3-inch wide impeller blade. You count up the number of blades. So, let's say in this case it was 3 inches wide. There's 3 blades in there, so I'd look up a kit and you would find it under that specification. And they usually come with, hey, getting my fingers in the shot there. They usually come with bolts and hardware. Some of them just use like a self-tapping screw. I have used those in the past, and I've never had one come apart, like fly apart and get thrown. I'm not sure why, because they take a lot of abuse in there, and it's spinning, probably 1,000 RPM or somewhere in that range. And I've never had a problem with any type of hardware flying off in there or breaking, no matter what I'm going through, ice, snow. So anyways, I highly recommend either the last time I did it, I think on this blower here, I went to my local farm and fleet store and just bought a regular truck mud flap. It was a 1/4 inch thick and pretty huge, like, designed for a semi. And I just bought one of them, and now I just cut. If I buy a new machine, or if I'm fixing up somebody else's machine and they want the kit on there, I'll just cut it out of that same mud flap. Can probably get about 20 of them out of that thing for $12 or whatever I spent on it. So that's the impeller kits. I highly recommend them. It kind of is, bridges the gap between a 2-stage blower like this one and the little single-stage blowers with the rubber paddles on those. Those are, all rubber, obviously. The screw-type augers. And those things, as you guys know, when you have the new rubbers on there, those things will act like a water pump almost. They'll just pump pure slush water, just throw it. So you kind of get the same performance out of these big monsters when you put that impeller kit in there. Not quite, but it does bridge the gap somewhat. I still keep a single stage around, a Toro 821, just for the little stuff and where this thing can't get. And so, if you don't have a single stage, this might be a good option where it'll actually throw some of that cement-like toothpaste consistency sludge that we get here in Wisconsin. Probably keep it from clogging up too much in your output chute. So that's it, guys. If you have any other questions or comments, leave them down below. and maybe hit that subscribe button for me. Get my subscriber base up a little bit. That'd be helpful. And winter's almost upon us here. We had one small snowfall. And it's getting into mid-November here in Wisconsin, so look forward to some more action with this baby. The beast, as we call it. And maybe be a little bit of 54-inch blade action again, eh? I know you guys like that. I think that, yeah, I think this is for the blade or the snowblower. Can't recall, but I picked up a new scraper blade. I think it's for the snowblower, actually. Down below there. I flipped it last year. It was getting kind of worn out, so I flipped it 180. But I always like to have a spare on hand here in case in the middle of winter something happens, it gets bent up or torn up. So, enough rambling. Leave me some comments if you have questions, and I'll get right back to you guys. All right, thanks.